Come on.
Hey
We're doing the
guys,
case
we
here,
need to
guys.
settle something.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we need you to settle something for us. Bruce made me deep throat the microphone before he came on because he said it was too quiet, and I just need to know if that's true.
Guys, can you hear her? She doesn't sound loud enough. It sounds like a blanket's over the microphone.
Well,
What's
he
going
can hear
on?
my tonsils perfectly fine.
Oh boy.
So I'm just wondering.
That's where all the twins are.
Not much is going to survive past there, but all right.
I don't see any chat comments. What's happening in this stream?
I don't know. We were getting a bunch before.
Guys,
Maybe they left us because I took too long.
are we really live?
Yeah, or maybe they just can't hear my
Is
mouth.
anybody watching? Liz Wagner says, go Gators. Lisa B says we're here. Volume check, guys. Well, how's our volume?
Yeah,
What's going
how's my
on?
sound?
I can barely hear Lauren.
Yeah, I don't know. Can anyone else hear me? Is Bruce just old? You're on the wrong mic. I only have one mic, homie. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's very quiet.
Sounds quiet. Sorry. Let me just fix this real quick.
Is your mic set to the right source?
What if I do?
I mean, I think
Does that
I
help?
think it is because you were moving the. Is it what?
Oh, how about now?
No.
No. All right. So if I just like put it up to my face, then are we good?
Oh, see that sounds better.
You guys gonna make me hold this fucking thing? All right. We're good. It's choppy. How about now? Is it choppy now? I feel like my dad. Not because of the sound, but because he likes to deep throat the microphone as well, especially for Bruce. Okay.
I mean, special request that I made.
Not that special. He asks me every time, guys.
Michelle says, "Get that mic in your mouth, Lauren."
All right. We'll talk later.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is this dog doing?
I hear what appears to be a dog over the mic. Well, that I know is not me. But maybe that's my that's why no one can hear me, because there's other bitches in the background.
It's not my dog, but it is a dog. It's looking at me through the window. There's one of these windows over here.
It's not your dog, but it's looking at you through your window. That's
I changed my angle. Now I can look right at it. Plus, guys, do you like my wood? What do you think?
Yeah, I got on here and Bruce says I changed my angle and now you can see my wood. And I was like, what is he talking about? And then he was like, stick the microphone in your mouth. I was like, this got really weird really fast. So
what can I say? It's Thirsty Thursday.
It's Thursday? Fuck. No, I know that. I got a flight tomorrow morning at like 5 o'clock, so I just wanted to do this a little bit earlier. This won't be a long one, but I wanted to talk about the email that Dave got yesterday.
Yeah.
Before.
Thank you, Christina.
Hopefully the people who are saying they can't hear me now are just behind, because there's literally nothing else I can do about this. This is as close as I'm getting this microphone to my face tonight. Shapiro hacked StreamYard. Thanks for that thought. Less than 5 minutes in and it's weird. It should start weird and it should end weird. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so hang on. Let me pull this up. This is obviously pertaining to Laura Owens and not the other stuff I've been talking about lately. Let me hang on. Let me just put this up really quick. There we go. All right. I don't know if you can see that very well. Let me see if I can move our heads. Yeah, that's better. Okay. You sound really low, Lauren. We don't need to talk about my mood. God. You guys are a bunch of cunts tonight. All right. Did this just start? Yes. Dude, I swear to God, I don't want to start reading this because I don't know if people are just behind and they can't hear me because I was quiet before, or if I'm still quiet now.
It's not the best, but it's better when the mic is close to your mouth.
Maybe I just need to like unplug it and plug it back in. What do you think? What if I turn this down? Does this help? What is this doing?
What?
Doing anything?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think it is.
What were you? You were.
What now? Does this help?
Yeah, do that thing to it again.
You want me to flick it again? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, flick it a little.
Is this way better?
Oh boy.
No, I'm not even making noise.
That is better, actually.
Is it? Okay, fuck. All right. We'll leave it like that then. I'm not going to touch it again. You just need it close to your mouth because of white noise interference. Well, okay then. Here I am. I don't know. I should probably just do this upstairs next time, but maybe if I reduce background noise, that'll help. I'm going to do that. Okay.
I know. I'm hoping they take their dog inside.
I want the dog to stay, frankly. But, right. Now I'm
Technical challenges, guys. Streaming is dynamic. Streaming is dynamic.
There are different decibels just to fuck with people now.
Oh boy. It's
All
just it's an experiment.
Anyways, the subject of this is not a laughing matter. You guys are sick. So Dave got this email.
That's true. We're coping.
2 nights ago. What's up?
We're coping with levity.
Always. Every day. All right. So Dave got this email like 2 nights ago. And it says, "Hello, Dave. I found your email address online. I have on very good authority that LMO attempted suicide today and left a note calling out you specifically, and also Lauren N, Megan F, Omar S, Rachel J, Steve C, JFC Instagram, and Reddit as her reasons." I mean, isn't she supposed to have 13? First of all, I feel like we're running a little short here. Also, I am not sure if she made it, and I would not be playing it so cocky about not being sued by her family. You should be ashamed of yourself for destroying this woman who I've known for more than a decade. I'm so sorry if that's true and this is a real person. As part of her friend group, none of us wanted to come forward to publicly support her because we had been scared of what JFC would do to us, our families, and our livelihoods. But that does not mean she has not been loved by very many. Had you taken the time to know her instead of making her life hell, I think you would have found that she was a much different person than you made her out to be. All the best, KB. And of course, it's a Proton Mail address, which we all know who uses Proton Mail addresses. There's Megan Fox, and then there's Laura. And that's about it, as far as I know. So I'm going to assume this wasn't Megan Fox because she's named in the pretend suicide note. I think this is pretty transparently Laura. She sent emails like this before, pretending to be other people through Proton Mail or through riseup.net, which is another one of those really hard to trace email sites. Somebody says, "Oh yeah, she definitely wrote this." Yeah, I got one a year ago where she was pretending to be some dude named Tag, who was allegedly her ex-boyfriend, and saying that she's totally suicidal because I didn't believe that she was after her lawyer published it on his blog. So, I mean, this is a pretty constant pattern at this point. I don't know, Bruce, you probably saw this yesterday as well. I know he had shared it at one point, but it was private.
Well, it was during the Patreon live stream, Work with Dave, where he makes his afternoon podcast, right? And so before he made his podcast, he was dealing with this email. And of course, as Dave talks about in this video, he did call in a wellness check just to dot all the I's and cross all the T's, even though we all suspected this was not a legitimate email, because fundamentally, there's a lot of things we can say about this email, but number one, first and foremost, if you are a legitimate friend of someone and you have it on good authority that they attempted this, your first response would not be to email Dave Neal.
No.
The reasonable first response would be to contact authorities yourself and not contact Dave Neal. So that first and foremost calls into question any legitimacy of this email. I think in addition, with things like the tag emails and others, when people like Megan Fox or Dave Neal have asked to confirm the identity of the sender by like getting on a Zoom call or something like that, it always goes radio silent. That's a clear sign that something illegitimate is occurring with these emails. If the person won't physically verify themselves to at least someone, if they don't feel comfortable being public, they can always verify themselves to Dave or somebody they do feel comfortable with. They could verify themselves to me or whoever, Omar, somebody, right?
Well, I mean, you had somebody
they have that
come to you before. What was that after the court case where they had been the person to share something instead of Mata's dad? It was not actually Mata's dad at all. It was this person who came to you. So
what? No, well, yeah. So I had a source who was at the June 10th hearing who
Yep.
did talk to the person who presumably was Judge Mata's dad. I mean, we assume it was. And they were just telling me, hey, look, he didn't get these documents from Judge Mata. I gave him documents that I had. It was the pretrial statements, because when you're going to the court case, you might want to look through the pretrial statements to correlate what you're hearing from the testimony, right?
Mhm.
So this person had printed that stuff out and had said, hey, now that we're chatting it up in the line, if you want to know more about the case, here, read these pretrial statements or something. And so that's all. And they did verify their identity to me. So,
Yeah.
that helps the credibility with these type of things.
So it's not like you have to identify everything about yourself. You can use your real name and expect that people won't share that. Because if they do, then everybody knows you never come to them again. So there's kind of it's like, I think journalists don't want to do that, right? So you don't have to pretend.
Yeah. Wait, I think your audio went out.
That's because I put myself on mute.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm doing so well with this tonight. I packed everything up because I got to leave at like 5 a.m. for the airport. So I'm working on bare bones here. Sorry, guys. It's not great tonight with the technical stuff. But,
Yeah. And I mean, there's just so much we could pick apart in this email. Just in terms of like, I have it on good authority, but what is that authority? It's all vague, right? So it's vague claims. How do we confirm
I
this?
have to assume it's the FBI.
The use of the initials, LMO, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that was
what is that? Like, why would somebody use initials like that? It's very strange.
Yeah.
Naming all these people in a big list rather than, the focus is the concern, right? The focus, like, if somebody should be like sort of out of their mind with concern, but they're sitting here like crafting an Excel spreadsheet of names, right? Like, what's that about?
Let's talk about that for a minute. So
Yeah.
Dave obviously was the target here. He was the only one of us that got the email.
Okay.
Because I feel like they probably just felt like he would give the response that they wanted. I guess like they were going to trigger him, and that's what they really wanted. Was just to trigger him, and he seems to have kind of gotten to a place where he's like, I know how to handle this, and he's not too worried about it. Like, he'll ask and be like, hey, did anyone else see this? But he's really just handling it the best way he can. He's not like, because at first when she would do that stuff, like the blood's on your hands, I feel like it like really got to him a lot. But so let's see, Megan Fox has like, she every now and then she'll still talk about this, right? But she largely has like ignored Laura, I feel like, for the last several months. Because she has bigger things to talk about, and she's got more things in her life right now that she's focusing on, and I feel like she just isn't really giving her that much attention. So why would you name Megan Fox there? And then second, Omar has been more than compassionate with her, more than understanding at sometimes, more than giving her the benefit of the doubt, especially at first. To the point where I was annoyed with him. I was like, damn, this guy sucks. The first time I ever saw him do something, I was like, this guy sucks. And it took a while for me to warm up to him, because I was like, you got to stop like giving this lady so much credit. Oh, hi, Omar, by the way. He knows that he sucks, so it's all good.
No,
'cause
I was glad to have him sort of come in cold and look at the case, because I always appreciate a sort of third party view on things to make sure that, if I have a position or if I have an opinion, I'd like to test it, but it's hard to test it myself. So sometimes it's nice to have somebody else help you out with that.
I think what's really funny is like the thing that made me turn off his stream that first time was something he said about Mike. Yeah.
Really?
And look at where we are now. So, but yeah, no, I remember because he was saying something like, he was like, why would this guy do this or that? And I was like, you don't understand like how crazy this lady is. And it just took him a couple times to get it. I feel like.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, good working theories are models that let us make predictions or understand something. And we can have the thing about science is it's not always like there's an answer or there's not an answer. You have models that evolve over time, right? And
Yeah.
so you could have a model that's, it's okay, but it's not that accurate at the start. And as you gather more information, learn more, you make your model better and better. And that's how it's good to see that happen, for people being open to that.
I mean, I don't think Omar could really get much better as a model, Bruce, but that's just me.
A supermodel? Oh boy. On the catwalk?
Super's pushing it, right? Omar Senior is the supermodel.
Oh, that's where he gets all the
Yeah.
model talent from. Okay.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So Rachel, like them naming Rachel in here is so bizarre because there's like Rachel's never done anything to Laura. If anything, she's made David feel bad, and that's
Right.
just because she was smarter than him. So like, it's not like she did anything to the guy, other than
Yeah, that is odd.
Yeah, and so I was like, why would you even put her in here? That kind of like waters down any sort of credibility that this had, which is not much, by the way, in the first place. Because like, why the fuck would she name Rachel in a suicide note? That's the most that's the dumbest thing I've heard. Yeah, I don't know. Like I
And
said, if anything, it's David that has
the specificity here, you have to know everybody's last name initials. Like Omar often goes by the Tilted Lawyer, right? So not a lot of people even know what his last name is. Reality Steve is typically just Reality Steve, right?
Yeah, that's a weird thing to.
Not a
Yeah,
lot of people are fluent, off top of their head, what's his last name, right? So
yeah.
it's very odd.
So Steve like is one of the only people that David actually likes still, I think, as far as I know. And I don't know if they don't like buddies, but like David like didn't hate him from what I understood after the whole debate thing. So
Sure.
again, don't know why he's named here either.
Yeah.
Because he really hasn't said anything that bad. I mean, he called her a dumbass once. We all know that, but like, so what? JFC Instagram and Reddit, like that's kind of broad, but whatever.
Yeah.
The whole I'm not sure if she made it thing. If you're like friends with this person for over 10 years and her family is like sitting at a hospital wondering if she made it or not, you're probably not looking up random people's email addresses and sending messages like this. You're probably sitting there waiting with them, feeling devastated and not even thinking about Dave Neal. I don't know why you would. Right.
Yeah. That reads so cold.
Right.
Like there's no real lack of concern, or there's a real lack of concern in terms of the emotionality of this sentence.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it just to me it feels like it's supposed to like give some kind of weight to the threat here, but it just kind of gives away the intention, which is to freak someone out. Because if the truth is that you didn't know if she made it or not, and you're this person's friend of like over a decade, this is not going to be your reaction.
Right. Right.
Exactly. Everyone reacts differently, but this is not going to be your reaction. That's just not. So.
Yeah, it doesn't ring true.
Yeah. Erica P says, didn't call out the Discord, so that's a win. That's weird because we know both Laura and David are staying up late at night fapping off to the Discord messages. So it's really strange. I mean, they've both like done this thing where they're like taking screenshots of the Discord and then he's tweeting about it. I'm just like, are you guys in the 5th grade?
Yeah, or she's screenshotting it and sending it to him or whatever.
But he did that shit in like real time last night or the night before.
It seemed like it. Yeah.
Like the message that he had screenshotted and posted on his Twitter was from 1 minute before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he's just also unemployed and stalking Dave's Discord, I guess. I don't know, man. Really weird. None of us wanted to come forward to publicly support her because we've been scared of JFC. Okay, so if you wanted to publicly support her, you could have done that at any point in the very beginning of all this, when her story was first coming out in the Sun and whatever tabloids, before she was getting so much backlash. What's the excuse?
Yeah, also, I'm not really convinced because even if you look at other cases that are covered on YouTube, legal cases, right? Whether it's the Delphi trial or the Brian Koberger case or any other case, Karen Reed, you can almost always find at least a small set of people who are advocates for the minority report, right? I think there's still people out there who think there's, a ton of conspiracy theories or reasonable doubt about the Koberger case, even though the guy already confessed, right? But and you can find those people; they're very vocal. But in this case, like,
Yo, Brian Koberger stands are fucking crazy.
that's what I'm saying. There's no
That's nuts.
there's nobody. Like, I would like to talk to somebody who thinks that Laura Owens had a stand-up case in the paternity case, like someone who's not her lawyer, right? Just a member of the public looking at the court documents saying, "Hey, I think this Laura Owens got a raw deal. I think she was right. I think her arguments make sense."
There was
Can I
probably
talk
like a
to
handful of those people for like a month.
Yeah, we would like to. Yeah, well, today, I mean, we would like
Not
to
today.
talk to someone
No,
like that
no.
and
Yeah.
and sort of understand where they're coming from. Like, I wouldn't, you know, nobody's going to like destroy them or whatever. I mean, they're not committing crime, right? When we're talking about Laura Owens, she's been indicted with 7 felonies and she's innocent until proven guilty, but like, she's alleged to have committed crime, and wanting accountability is not trying to destroy someone's life. That's just being part of society and having reasonable expectations about other people in society. Right?
Yeah. We love you too, Omar. Sorry you can't be with us, but you're busy being a decent lawyer who
Yeah.
doesn't talk about ongoing cases.
I mean, yeah. Omar's got a job to do, so
Well, I'm accustomed to a certain standard, Omar. I need you to blog about this.
we appreciate. Oh no, the Gingras standard? That's not a I don't think
Yeah.
that's not a standard we want to role model.
For a little while I said I kind of missed the mess, but then now I've seen the mess on crack, and I'm kind of like, you know what? I don't want it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, that does not mean she has not been loved by very many. Pass.
Well, it doesn't mean she has been either.
Yeah.
So, like, what kind of tautology is this? Like, there's no information here. It's just like, I don't know. Like I said, if she has a bunch of supporters who think she had a great case and got a raw deal, like,
Where's the Dr. Mitchell's Twitter account?
let's talk to him. Yeah, I mean,
had you taken the time to get to know her instead of making her life hell, I don't think you would have found that she was a much different person than you made her out to be, or I think you would have found that. So this whole had you taken the time to get to know her is a recurrent theme in her emails to other people.
Yeah, I think the JFC Instagram put together a bunch of occurrences of prior text messages and emails where this type of language is used either by Laura and or purported to be Laura's mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think other people have pointed out things like, using 2 spaces after punctuation or a period at the end of a sentence. These are things she likes to do.
Here, hold on.
On the other hand, I like to do that, so I put the 2 spaces.
Okay, fair enough. Then, yeah.
But I don't know how many people still do that.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. So this whole fake suicide note, because as we know now she's fine. Dave called a wellness check. The police said there's nothing wrong with her, which is what happens every time someone has to call a wellness check. But you do have to call one because that's what you're supposed to do when somebody does something. Now that we know that she's fine, this is like a recurring theme. This fake suicidal note, fake suicidal attempt, fake suicidal thoughts. Like there's just all this kind of mental health kind of exploitation going on to try to like drag people into her mess and keep her there, or like want to pay attention to her, or to think they need to give her what she wants. It's really obnoxious, and I feel like that was the thing that first got my attention with this whole thing, because like I was always reading the Bachelor subreddits and stuff at the time this all started, and I don't really watch the show anymore, but I did at the time. Clayton's season, I think, and then the girls that came from his season after that, those were like the last season that I really watched. So this all came out on that subreddit, and I was like, okay, whatever, this is crazy, but it's just something I want to like scroll through on Reddit, So I didn't really feel compelled to say anything about it until I saw that she was like threatening suicide and all this crazy shit all over the place in the most obvious manner, that she was just trying to get something out of it and that she wasn't sincere at all. And then I recall people giving Dave a lot of shit for talking about it and talking about her the way that he was, given the threats that she was making. And so then I felt like stepping in and saying, hey, like, here's what you need to look at when somebody's making threats like this on a recurrent basis. Here's how you know it's sincere versus this is a means to an end. Here's how you know it's sincere versus this is somebody who's trying to exercise control over other people using emotional abuse. So that kind of felt like the reason I started to talk about it. And so when I saw this email, obviously yesterday or the day before, that's what that kind of brought me back to. It was just like she's always been somebody who got what she wanted by making these sort of dire threats, not just with suicide, but with domestic violence, with sexual assault, with cancer, big cancer, any kind of like emotional abuse, allegations, stuff like that. Like she'll take pregnancy, miscarriage. She'll take the most like controversial topics, the things that you're never supposed to question someone on, because there are so many people who suffer from these things, and it's terrible that they're not believed sometimes. So she'll take things that are so controversial to push back on and exploit that to get what she wants and to kind of dig into people's heads. So then if you tell her, I don't think you're telling the truth, and you're wrong, that little 1% of you that's telling you might be wrong, then all of a sudden you're an asshole, you're a terrible person, and you have to live with that. So she banks on that. But the thing is, like, she's done it so many times now, it's kind of lost its touch. It's lost its emotional grip. It's not getting her what she wants. And I feel like at this point, we're seeing more and more people start to pay attention. You got all the San Francisco media outlets, these papers and stuff starting to pay attention. I know there was like some talk about a podcast or something. And I am afraid that she's going to go back to what she knows in response to all this new attention, which is if I exploit these things in this way, I can get these people to stop and think, okay, maybe I shouldn't question her. Maybe I shouldn't push back so much. Maybe I shouldn't say, the things that I want to say because I'm afraid. Because what if she's telling the truth and then all of a sudden I have all this guilt and I played a part in pushing this person to the edge. So it's the goal is always fear.
Yeah.
To control people through that fear.
I was going to ask you, before we started, I was sort of thinking in my mind what to ask you. And what I was thinking was, if this email was 100% successful from the sender, whether that's Laura or some troll or whether it's literally a real friend of 10 years or something.
Yeah, right.
For the person who sends this kind of email, what does success look like? What do they want Dave to do or not do? What do they want? What do they ultimately want to have happen because of this email?
Well, okay. So we're talking about, I'm assuming this is Laura who sent the email because it's the most likely scenario. Am I still cutting out or is that person earlier on? I don't know. Guys, I'll just I'm cutting out again.
I think the mic moves around a little bit and it can.
Right, let me hold it. Try to hold it still. So for her, it would be that Dave would apologize or Dave would stop talking about it. Or ideally for her, Dave would have some kind of emotional reaction to that she would feed off of. He would feel apologetic and sad and anxious. And she would see that and feel like, I'm back in control of this situation. I'm the one who's dictating what happens here. So you're cutting out, keep your mouth on the mic. I'm not going to eat the microphone. All right, it's not going to happen.
Just
stop moving around so much. Love you. I'm sitting still, you weirdos. Hang on, let me unplug this. Hang on.
So it's really about control, getting the response you want instead of a natural response from somebody else in a relationship or in a communication.
Yeah, because nobody's gonna just. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not going to be the best microphone ever, but it's going to not cut it out like that. So It's not going to be like an organic response to things that happen in the relationship because Dave is not thinking about Laura right now. He's not thinking about what Laura's thinking or saying or feeling because why would he be? She should be preparing for her defense and just like living her life. But if she goes out of her way to fake this email from somebody and puts something high stakes in the middle of the situation, like a suicide attempt, then all of a sudden it's going to elicit this emotional reaction from him that she wouldn't have gotten otherwise. Because there's no organic reason for her to contact him, especially given that he's potentially a witness in her criminal case. So, yeah, it's just a way to get around, like, there's no way for me to do this and to exercise this control in a direct way without it being transparent that that's what I'm trying to do. So what she's going to do now is use this fake middleman to try to elicit that same response.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay,
Gosh.
so everybody feels better now. That's good. I don't know what was wrong with that, but it's never failed me before. I guess maybe it's time to give that one up. Yeah. That was my first microphone.
Oh.
So sad, man. I'm getting old.
And I think, there was a good article. Was it one of the other was it the same San Francisco
Is it Mercury?
Mercury that they wrote another article in response to
I think it was Mercury.
The Arizona Supreme Court appeal.
Yeah, I think it was
Petition
it was
being
Martha,
denied.
right?
Yeah.
I think that was Mercury News, but I'm not positive.
So I think in San Francisco, those guys have written 2 very good articles in a row now on the case. So that's pretty interesting as well that's going on.
Well, by all means, you should probably send them a suicide note.
Oh boy.
Just saying.
I mean, yeah, I think it's very hard with proton mail because they're in Switzerland or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're never it's going to be hard to find out unless they do another search warrant and let's say it's Laura that wrote this email. Let's say she just happens to have like a draft of it on a laptop and her proton mail username and password written down somewhere. Like, unless it's like super obvious that a computer forensics investigator could get that proof off of a device, which, if she's smart at all and she did this, she would have like created the proton mail account, wrote this email, and then deleted it and forgot about it. Right. But
I mean, it's not a total impossibility, but yeah.
I mean, who knows? But in any case, we did recommend that Dave send all these emails that he was getting from Gingras and this proton mail account and some other things to the Maricopa County Attorney's Office.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, you mentioned witness intimidation, and that is a concern.
Yeah.
Where is that line between people doing PR, people just doing what they do in their normal lives, and where does it cross over to witness intimidation?
Well, if you're contacting someone as someone else to try to manipulate their response to something, that is definitely not regular PR. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely manipulation. For sure.
My B says exactly my thoughts. I need to check her electronics again because she's not smart. I'll tell you what, most people expect criminals to be super, they know what they're doing and they cover their tracks and stuff like that. Most criminals are fucking dumb, man. That's why they get caught. They're not that sophisticated. They don't have the means and they just don't think to do it. Honestly, most criminals are fucking dumb. Life is not a Criminal Minds episode. Nobody's that sophisticated. It's just most people just give themselves up.
Yeah, I was listening to an interview with a criminal psychologist who evaluates criminal cases for DAs, right? And they were saying a lot of times they go in and say, one of the things you say is like, well, why do you think you ended up here? How'd you get here? Why'd you do this? Why'd you do all this bad stuff? You're in prison now, or whatever it is. And they're kind of like, well, I thought you could help me figure that out. Or like, they don't know. Yeah. Like, it's just it's a visceral reaction, it seems, almost, some of this stuff that's happening, or the things that they do, and we saw that with these something would happen, and in response, there'd be a Medium article, right?
Yeah.
That Laura would write. And I don't think it's sort of like, I'm sitting here trying to say, like, why would someone do this? What do they want out of it? They may not even know. It may just be instinctive, right? I don't.
Well, when you're somebody who's grown up never hearing no, and the first time you started to hear no, you found out that making these threats of self-harm or making these threats or making these sort of pretend stories that you have medical conditions or cancer or whatever, you find out really quickly that you're going to get reinforcement from that. You're going to get what you want from that. And so then you turn into somebody as an adult who only knows how to manipulate a situation like that. They don't know how to take no for an answer. They don't know how to understand how to like maturely deal with a negative outcome or just like kind of move on with their life. They're like, there's an answer to this. There is a way for me to get what I want, and it's to punish or hurt this other person because it's always worked for me in the past and it's going to work now. So she'll keep trying and trying and trying until someone puts her behind bars. I think that a lot of people say like still don't think like prison will stop her or whatever. I'll tell you what, I've said this before. I'll say it again every single time. You cannot cure this kind of pathology with a short stay in a psychiatric crisis hospital. And that's what we got in this country. You don't have a lot of longer term psych holds. And if you do, it's because you're incompetent. She's not incompetent. She's intelligent. She knows what she's doing. She knows the difference between right and wrong, which is why she tries to hide things so well and has successfully up to this point. She knows what she's doing. You can't cure that with a crisis stay. You can't cure that with a pill. It's like you have to commit yourself to that. You have to say, I want to change. I want to do better. Or at the very least, for some people, this is what it takes. I don't want to go back to prison. So I disagree with a lot of people who are saying that. Like jail won't do anything. Jail won't stop it. I think jail is the only thing that will stop it. So I don't know. Dave is very empathetic and these things get under his skin. Dave doesn't anticipate someone as diabolical as Laura Owens. I mean, most people don't. Most people don't because there are a lot of bad people in this world, but not all of them are this bad. You know what I mean? So.
And I think since this whole thing began with the Sun article, Dave has come a long way. He's learned a lot and he's had friends and colleagues around to help him navigate everything, right?
Yeah.
Which is, I think, the real difference here, right? We have friends, we get together, we can chat in Discord, we can talk on YouTube here in these streams in the chat room. I don't think Laura has anything like that. She's basically alone. It's the old Harry Potter sort of thing of like Harry Potter has friends and Voldemort doesn't, right? I mean, it's sort of contrived, but I think it's kind of true. In a thematic way.
Right. I mean, it's not that she couldn't have friends. Look, there are people out there who will like her and her brand of crazy, but she chooses not to engage with those people. She wants something else. She wants what she believes is a higher standard. But the thing is, if you want to be with somebody who's, up to a higher standard where they're not living like somebody who has to manipulate people to get what they want, you have to be a better person. And it's not impossible. There are lots of people with personality disorders who can live normal lives and kind of get their stuff in check to where they can recognize their patterns and they can do better. She's not one of those people because she refuses to take responsibility for her actions. She refuses to take responsibility for her emotions and what she needs to do to control them. It doesn't make everyone who has these kinds of problems a bad person. But if you decide to take it out on other people, then yeah, it kind of does. So I heard about the catfish mom. Who's the catfish mom?
I don't know. It's not a case I know about.
Yeah, me neither.
Apparently it's going to be on Netflix.
Sweet. Nowadays, there is sometimes internet access with those tablets. Oh, in jail? Yeah, if she's doing this shit right now, she's not going to have the access to that in jail. It's not going to happen.
Really? You think so?
No, I don't think that she'll have access to that kind of thing in jail. Not if she's doing stuff like this online where she's impersonating people. It depends on how much they decide to investigate. Like if they look into the Chase J. Jones.
Yeah. I mean, it would all be monitored, right? You couldn't just do anonymous things. Because I think even like Lori Vallow Daybell has a tablet and emails.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Well, she emails the news guy, Nate, or whatever. I
had no idea. I actually hadn't followed that at all. So
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. To be honest, I don't really support a lot of people in prison having tablets until after they served a large part of their sentence. I think at a certain point, it's like you got to go in there and just like face the consequences of your actions. After like good behavior and all that for a certain amount of time, I think fine. Give people a little bit more leeway, give them some more privileges or whatever. But like right away, if you're like a crazy murderer person and you're like going to prison, I don't think you should have a tablet. I think you should go fuck yourself for a while.
M169 says Lori lost her tablet privileges. I think she's She's trying to smuggle those peanut M&Ms into the prison or something.
My God, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, there was one more thing I wanted to look at tonight. Let me pull that up real quick. This is a Goodbye Arizona tribute, I guess. All right, so we have a new little thread from our favorite internet lawyer.
What's he up to tonight?
Speaking of people who shouldn't have access to the internet.
At least unsupervised access to the internet.
Right. So he had this weird kind of crash out yesterday, and you and I went through that.
Yeah.
But then today it got worse. I guess he's decided they lost the Supreme Court thing or whatever. He's decided goodbye Arizona. He got a one-way ticket out of the state. He's like, I'm leaving next week. I'll be back one day. But for now, I'm taking some much-needed time off. In the meantime, try not to speculate about things you don't understand. This triggers my need to correct errors. Well, first of all, things that he think are errors are usually largely correct. But also, he has a DUI trial coming up. So, what? What do you mean you'll be back one day? You should be back soon.
Yeah. Is he coming back for that? Or
you should be back really fucking soon.
It's mysterious.
Yeah.
Where's this ticket to?
I don't want to know, nor do I have any idea. But yeah, I'm going to say it's probably to where his family is or whatever, which is hopefully they'll be able to get him the help he needs because something is going on here. Then he goes back into launching in the whole thing about the bar complaints and blah, 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 even that has nothing to do with what you just said. For example, Arizona's anti-slap law used to be very weak, one of the weakest in the country, because it used to only apply to speech made to the legislature. Blech. It was basically useless. That changed in 2022 when the law was massively expanded. See, and then he's got a whole anti-slap map here. Even though I'm not really sure what this has to do with a bar proceeding, but okay.
Oh, he'll explain that.
Oh, I'm sure we'll explain it. I'm just still not sure what it has to do with. But all right. The law now applies to broadly to all exercise of free speech anywhere, yes, even on X. It also applies to the right of petition, which includes litigation, and it applies to any written investigative demand or any regulatory or administrative action by a state actor. Okay, but I think he did some stuff that was pretty bad, that was way beyond a free speech issue. And I think he's ignoring those things.
Yeah, I mean,
one little bit.
Yeah, if you have a corporate employer, I mean, they can get you on misconduct, and you can't just, free speech, First Amendment. Like, that's not really how that works. I don't know. I mean, I'm not an expert, but I am very skeptical. Plus, his track record does not fortify me with trust in his arguments.
No, I mean, the courts still don't understand Rule 26, so.
And I mean, why does he care if people speculate? Like, who cares? It's the internet. There's people out there with all sorts of good and bad ideas. That's how it is. Just, you gotta let it.
Great.
You just gotta let it go. Like,
yeah.
Frozen. Let it go. Yeah.
Shit. 1 sec, sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Hence, it applies to the AZ bar, and if I prevail, we can seek legal fees plus documented time away from employment to confer with counsel. I guess he doesn't have any other jobs. Meaning my lost income dealing with this and time spent dealing with hearings, which will be a lot.
Okay.
And you can file an anti-slap to stop discovery, but you don't have to. And why would I want to? The law says the motion can be filed within 60 days after service of the complaint. So I can get a complaint, then do some discovery with MATA, then file the motion in that order. If you can remember that order. As for discovery, there is a lot I want to do, but very little the bar can do. They already have every document from the file, and I've already answered every question they asked with multiple 25-plus page letters, YouTube videos, and thousands of pages of supporting documents.
So he sent the bar all his YouTube videos?
I guess so.
I mean, there's folks around who have archived his videos in any case, in case they need it. But
Oh, I know,
it's
because I
nice.
have a
It's
copy of
nice
all of
that
them.
he provided them.
No, I have every single one of them, and I'm just
I
like,
don't.
I'm gonna need. So for some reason, I'm gonna need
Oh
this
boy.
someday. I'm gonna keep them. So
I don't think that's the win he thinks it is.
no, no, it's not. Why would you show the bar guys your video where you have an assault rifle posted up in the background and you're like, this person's dead to me, and you write their name down on a list? What is wrong with you?
Can you imagine the disciplinary committee watching his video where, first of all, he's dressed up like a Home Depot employee, and then in the next one, he's waving
Not the
his
Home
pew
Depot.
pew around? Like, that's not a
The
good
Home
look.
Depot outfit
The
was
optics are not the best. They're not all
Yeah.
the best.
He did so many weird things with his YouTube. And like the thing is, when he was lucid, which is I don't think he is right now, but when he was lucid, he could have done like some decent, just like educational commentary stuff that people might have listened to. And that was kind of my thought in the beginning when he first started doing this. Like, oh, I thought he was going to be really terrible, but he was okay. And then he decided to go all aggro mode and tried to sue me for commenting on his video with clips. And by clips, I mean I honestly did cover most of the video, but like at the same time, I stopped probably every 1 minute and spoke for like 20. So like it was ridiculous. And so he just decided to be so aggressive and against everyone that he kind of ruined any, like, I don't know, like any kind of likability that he had. And I was like, dude, you can, because he can be charming. He can be kind of charming, I think.
Yeah, he has this baseline where when he's like, okay, I'm going to make a YouTube video. You know, I got a guitar, I got a cat. I can tell you about, you know, here's a law book. I don't know. You're kind of like, okay.
That was my first impression. I was like, damn, like I don't like this guy.
If this guy just would cover, if he would just cover a case that's not his case, like he could make a good YouTube video, right? After his first video, I was like, oh, he's got a cat, he's got a guitar. He could cover the he could cover some case, the Delphi case or something, whatever. I don't care. And but no. No.
I mean, without a doubt, he could have had plenty of people who liked him and wanted to listen to what he had to say.
Yeah.
But he alienated everyone with the way that he went about it. So.
Yeah, he's got this mode where it's like a switch goes off and suddenly he's like rude and he just talks over you, or he just says, that's before my time, let's move on. Oh, and he's making these strange assertions and logic goes out the window. And it's like that mode is just so unhealthy.
Yeah. Just going back to the that's before my time thing, I think he's going to drop out of this group with Mike. I think he's going to drop out because he can't ignore that anymore if he stays in it. And I don't think that's going to work out for him.
Yeah, I mean...
So.
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, really, think about it. Think about everything he would have to acknowledge. The fake cancer and all that.
I mean, I want him to stay in the case long enough for Omar to really smack him up and down the streets of San Francisco for a while. You know what I mean?
We don't want to see that, but I don't think he's going to do it. I think that would be terribly detrimental to him. So, I got to think the guy will drop out.
Why? He's lost cases before. It's fine.
No, he hasn't. The courts have just been wrong. It's still ongoing.
Oh.
It's before my time, Bruce.
Oh, boy. Yeah. He's going to get the case thrown out. Oh, boy.
All right. But on my side, there's so much useful digging to do. Deposing Mata, her dad. This is unhinged, by the way. Deposing Mata, her dad, getting doxxed from the judicial conduct folks. Okay, the judicial conduct folks ruled against you. Like, that can all happen now, and it will happen quickly. I'll do this immediately. Once I get the info I need, the anti-slap motion will be filed. This is so fucking dumb.
That's an interesting one, because what does he want from the committee?
I don't know. The guy's fucking Delulu. Like, it's nuts.
Wouldn't he already have the documents that they provided him? What other documents does he want?
Beats me, bro. He's nuts. The primary question is legal, i.e., does the bar's position have legal merit? Yes. Yes. Given the facts, that's going to be a hard hill to climb for them. Rude speech is protected even if you don't like it. Okay, but witness intimidation and everything else that you did isn't. Oh my God. SCOTUS has already decided that, hence the bar may have a hard time. But here's the real trick. If my motion is denied, that can be immediately appealed, first directly to the AZSCT. Please stop doing this. And then to SCOTUS if needed.
Oh, of
Stop
course.
threatening to go to the Supreme Court, you bitch. Like, this is so dumb. And they regularly take bar cases when the First Amendment is implicated. See,
Oh,
and
sure.
the link there. And again, always remember, if I win the anti-slap, the bar can be ordered to pay my legal fees plus my lost income. Well, if nobody wants to hire you, you don't have any lost income. It's like they just don't like you. Sorry.
Oh boy, this guy.
Those numbers could easily be $500,000 or more. And at some point, someone from the bar may decide that risk isn't worth it when I want to just retire. Anyway, don't pretend you want to just retire. All of a sudden, you want to just retire when this is happening. That's some bullshit. Also, this is delusional as hell, thinking that you're going to get $500,000+ from the bar for all the crazy shit you've done.
A bar
Like,
of
this
gold.
is absolutely unwell. Like, this is somebody who might benefit from a 72-hour crisis stay. Not Laura, but David. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
This is fucking nuts. Like, oh my God, dude. What are you on?
I think the problem is, like, anybody here on Twitter who has tried to, I don't know, present an alternative opinion or just try to reason with these tweets, like, hey, the U.S. Supreme Court, what's the rate that they accept cases that make it up to their level for
Not
them
high.
to look at? It's like 0.3
Yeah, it's
or
crazy.
0.03%, or it's some inordinately small number.
But David is special, Bruce.
And he's just like, oh,
He's the only one who
the
understands
US
Rule
Supreme
26.
Court. I'm just going to get $500,000 from the bar. Like, as if it's as easy as going to the hardware store and picking up a pair of gloves or something. Like, I don't, it's just, it's like nobody can, interact with him in a way that he can receive or internalize. It's like when we watched his conversation with Rachel Juarez, right?
That was a conversation?
He couldn't internalize.
That was not a conversation.
I know. He couldn't internalize. Well, I'm not going to call it a debate because it's not a formal debate.
It wasn't a debate either. There was like one person who knew what she was talking about. But whatever.
It was a rafflecopter. But I mean,
I couldn't even finish that. I don't think I ever even finished that.
Really?
Because it was so hard to watch. I couldn't do it. I was like, damn, I can't do this.
Yeah. I mean, anytime, Rachel was trying to get somewhere very politely.
Yeah.
It was just like, no. Well, you're wrong. Well, we just disagree. Well, we need to move on because there's other things to talk about. It's just this massive wall around him psychologically that just won't accept
he's crazy. Like,
reality.
He would talk and talk, and then she would get like 1 minute into a point, and he would just freak out. And I think that's why I couldn't. Maybe I did finish it, but I know I didn't stream all of it because we were all doing those reacts things together. I remember it was like you, me, Omar, Megan, and Schnitzel Ninja, and even Brad at one point. Were watching it together and we were commenting on it, and it like took so long to get through it because we were all just stopping to roast him every 30 seconds. But I don't think I ever finished that because I was just like, this is so hard to watch, bro.
No,
like
I wrote pages and pages and pages of notes because there was just so much to dig into on that.
Oh, you did like a whole 2-hour thing. I remember that.
Yeah.
No, I don't know, man. I mean, the only good thing about that was like, that's what introduced me to Rachel, which is, she's like, I don't know. I was like, I got to be friends with that lady. She's cool.
There you go.
Not the worst, but hard to watch for sure. Like I said, very hard to watch. Let me get through some of these real quick because we're pretty much at the end of his thread here. Jermaine Down, thank you for the 5. I need a big bowl of popcorn for when LO catches another felony for witness tampering. Also, she's a C word. Cunt. She's a cunt. You can say that. That's fine. This is a cunt-free zone. Or not a cunt-free zone. It's the opposite of a cunt-free zone. Say what you want. Yeah. Nick O'Brien, thank you for the 10. I are late to the party. Hi, Nick. Fake Laura Owens, thank you for the $5. I'm going to need a jail tablet to manage my new pregnancies. I mean, you can access your pregnancy hotlines from that, I guess, right?
Patient portal.
Totally. Thank you again for the 5. Fake Laura Owens, anti-slap. He can still spank me, though. Right? It's good that you sent that comment with money because I'm going to need therapy expenses. Thank you for that.
Only with a kayak paddle, because that's the only boat he's going to be able to.
Not our paddle boat, that's for sure.
A paddle boat.
Yeah.
Whap, whap, whap.
One more time, thank Laura Owens, thank you for the 5. DG said, ooh, sorry, I had a burp. Once he proves to the bar committee that Santa and the Tooth Fairy are real, the rest would be easy. Okay.
Sure.
So that should only take a couple more months. Cat Lady Ballerina, thank you for the 2. Whatever he's on, I don't want it. Man, I honestly might. I don't know. I'm in a bad way right now. I might want some. We'll see. Cassie, thank you for the 5. Justice for Aurora, for sure, for sure. Cat Lady Ballerina, thank you for the $5. I love watching that debate 11 billion times because I love watching RJ on him. Oh, Rachel, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's pretty great. So, what's so funny, man?
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
You thought I was saying she's pretty? I mean, she's not ugly, but I'm not gonna objectify my friend, Bruce.
We're gonna read about it in the journal you're writing in about 10 years from
you,
now.
Man. I only write about you in that journal.
Oh.
It's just a continuation of my middle school diary.
I feel special.
No, I don't have a journal anymore, guys. Sadly, I feel like I probably should though, because I forget so much stuff.
Because we need to read it in 10 years.
Yeah, well, I mean, this one's 20 years old, and I'm still trying to get through that one. It's cringy as fuck. Even today, I know I have that whole caboodle up there, and so I got the diary in it, and I pulled it out, and I was like, let me just read another page and see what happened here 20 years ago today. And so I got as close as I could to 20 years ago today. And it was like me bitching about some swim meet where I wore a swimsuit that this girl didn't like. And it was like the end of my fucking world. And it's like, what happened that is no longer the end of my world, and here I am today like this.
It puts things in perspective. I mean, that's the thing. Even everything that's going on now, this case, Owens v. Eckerd case, the Lively Baldoni case. I mean, in 10 years, it's all just going to be.
Well, I won't need a journal for that because I have a whole public fucking court docket with my thoughts on the fucking Lively case.
Yeah,
so
exactly. But, I mean, I remember stressful times at work, working on a project ABC or whatever it was. And then, 5 years go by, 10 years go by, and you think back to Project ABC, it shipped, it did what it did. And you think, man, all those day-to-day problems that were just giving me so much stress, it's all gone. And it really helps you put in perspective, well, what's the stress I have today on the current project, the current thing that's going on?
Yeah.
If that's how I feel about that project, this project's no different. Today's no different than 10 years ago. Yeah. So if I'm not stressed about the things that happened 10 years ago, maybe it gives me some perspective for what's happening today.
Yeah.
And that can help.
Jules OMN, thank you for the $10. I think next time LO/Ding sends another email like this, we need a gathering and sing Kumbaya and pray for them and nothing else. Just tell everyone to send prayers or good vibes to get well. I'm not wishing them well, but I'll support you doing that. I'm sorry. I'm just at the point where I'm like, I don't give a fuck. But totally, that's a great sentiment. I think you should do that. I have no more grace for these people.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it's really about fair accountability, right? You don't want to see anybody punished for something they didn't do, punished for something they don't deserve, right? But if you have reasonable authorities applying reasonable accountability, then that's all we can ask for as a society, right?
Sure, man.
A community.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, that was way too complicated for me right now. I'll say this. The other day, I was having a moment, and Bruce was here for this, where I was just like really upset. Just about life in general. And so I got frustrated with David's bullshit. And I said, he could fuck off and die and I wouldn't care. And I just wanted everyone to know that I was really upset that night. And the moment has passed and I'm not really upset anymore. But I still don't care if he fucks off and dies. I'm sorry. I just don't care. I really don't. Just fuck off. How baked is Lauren? I have had no marijuana tonight, bro. I still just don't give a shit. So.
Well, we don't know where he's going. He's got a one-way ticket to somewhere.
No, no idea where he's going.
I mean, who knows?
Yeah. Well,
He didn't say. If he's going to Wisconsin, I can recommend some supper clubs.
I think that maybe you should stay far away from that, man. I feel like
I'm not going to go to them with him, but I can just recommend
yeah, I
them.
feel like I wouldn't recommend anything anywhere near. Zach, thank you for the $2. Bruce just turned into a founding father.
Oh boy.
Oh, God.
Well, you know, I like the I like the idea you can amend the Constitution. I think that's a good idea because just like software, you're always patching the software, download an update for your laptop. That's what you should do. The Constitution, update it because, when they wrote that thing, there weren't even dishwashers in your kitchen, right? Like they would be astounded by the technology we have today. So
I don't even know what you're talking about. I've always had a dishwasher in my kitchen, so I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm only 21, but that's just me. Jules OMN, thank you for the $5. I think these emails are for attention. Can't wait until court and they can send her to jail. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a while. We'll see. I think this thing will probably get pushed again. But
yeah, I mean, the wheels of justice turn, but they turn very slowly.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of turning very slowly, I got to do some stuff before I go to bed. So that's going to take me a while. So I better go.
Mm-hmm.
But thanks everybody for hanging out with us. I'll be around if my microphone is working while I'm out of town. If not, then I won't, and everyone can cry about it. So, especially
we
Bruce.
will.
Yeah, I bet. Cry into your Wisconsin cheese.
I got to cut back on the cheese. I don't want my cholesterol
What the
going.
fuck is an unfried cheese curd? Is that just cheese?
That's just a cheese curd. So, Lauren, here's the thing. There's cheese, okay? Pay attention. There's cheese. There's cheese curds. It's like a cousin of cheese, okay? And then you can take the cheese curds, the cousins of cheese, and you can deep fry them with like breadcrumbs or something. And then you have deep fried cheese curds.
I thought a cheese curd was just fried cheese.
No, it's cheese curds are, a specific type of cheese. Okay. It's sort of like, I don't know, like if I'm a Wisconsinite, I'm also a US citizen, right? So if the US is cheese curds are Wisconsin.
Okay.
But then there's like Swiss cheese, which is over in whatever, Minnesota or something, Okay.
I think I understand.
Okay.
Cheese curds are a state of cheese, the cheese country.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
A state of cheese within the cheese country, yeah.
But you can have them not fried? That's so weird.
Yeah. You don't have to deep fry them. Although in Wisconsin, they deep fry anything. You can take Twinkies and Snickers bars and hot dogs and cheese and deep fry it and go to the county fair.
County fair, yeah.
Yeah. For sure. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, if I ever see a non-fried cheese curd, I'll let you know. But here we only have the fried stuff.
Yeah, I think Gemma is correct. Cheese curds are basically new, fresh cheese before the whey is wrung out completely.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's why they say if you bite into it quickly when it's new, it'll squeak, make a squeaking sound.
Somebody says, I know Lauren isn't high. I know Lauren isn't high, but I am, and this cheese combo is killing me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you guys soon. I gotta take off. Because I'm gonna have to will my way to finish all my tasks tonight before I go to bed. So, all right. Thanks, everyone. See ya.